And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, to another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. Welcome to the return of World Team League, WTL. It's great to be back. It's great to be back here for another season, for the 2024 summer season of World Team League. It feels like just yesterday we were wrapping up the winter season of 2023, and now we are back once again with some more Team League action. Oh, how I've missed it. How we've all missed it, I'm sure. And now we're back, we're here, and we're diving into our first matchup. So here we are in the day number 1 of the qualifiers. We can go over the bracket itself, we can go over all the matches later on. For now, we're focusing on our first best of 7. We're going to be featuring 2 big teams. We're going to be featuring Bong Exports versus PcEc. Speaking of spawning, in the bottom left hand corner of Crimson Core, we have the American Protoss player. Oh, sorry, the Chinese Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing PcEc. It is Nanyu. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player representing Bong Exports. It is Holden. Here we go. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the WTL, with the World Team League, and with the format that is upon us, of course, it is a best of 7, but not just a best of 7, it is comprised of best of 2s. So, between Holden and Nanyu, we have a best of 2, of course, and it's all building up towards a best of 7 between both teams as well. Again, best of 2s. Best of 2s aren't really something that we explore too much in StarCraft outside of WTL. It's great to see World Team League embrace the best of 2 format. It's very unique, and honestly, it's led to a lot of really amazing games and really amazing matches. Definitely something that I do appreciate from World Team League, and yeah, it's something, a nice little addition that we do have here before us as we're settling in to Game 1. Now, I'm not too familiar with the players of PcEc. I'm a little bit more familiar with Bong Exports, but I'm more than willing to be introduced, more than willing to be really, to really embrace what PcEc do have to offer. Again, I do apologize if you do hear me muting every now and then. I'm still not at 100%. I'm still under the weather, but I'm trying to bring you as much StarCraft as we can. As for now, Hatchgas Pool, standard opener here out of our Zerg player, nothing too fancy here from Nanyu. Likewise, across the map, Holden going for a gate expand into the Cybercore, into a standard opener as well. So far, everything looking as it should. Behind this, we do have a couple of Lings going to be applying some pressure, forcing back our Protoss. Again, Holden has been an up-and-coming player in the Americas region for a couple of years now and has been steadily improving over time. That's why I'm excited to see how Bong Exports can perform here overall. So there's a little bit of bias, but likewise, again, PcEc has some notables on their own roster. This is not going to be an easy one. I would love to see it back and forth. I would love to see an ace match, but it's on our players, and we'll see how they do compare to each other. For now, Queen is moving out, going to be zoning away that adept. Behind this, we're happily droning up. We do have a couple of Lings on the way, but the Lings are just designed to apply pressure to make sure that these adepts don't get out of hand and to even harass across the map. I'm assuming Holden is going for a Stargate opener into Oracles. We can see that is the case here for Holden. Is going to be the case. Oracle is on the way. First 2 adepts do arrive. Again, 2 adepts do one-shot drones, so they do have to be respected, but alas, that's why we made all these Lings, and we are able to keep up. Keep up with the shade at least. Nice cancel out of Holden. Does get 2 drones. 2 workers will go down. Behind this, we're trying to force them back. Good target firing here out of Nanyu, and we do manage to get one of the adepts. Very nicely done. Link speed kicks in, and we surround the second adept as well. Suddenly, this trade becomes from good to a little bit shaky. 2 adepts for 2 Lings, sorry, 2 adepts for 2 drones, not worth it. Not worth it here for the Protoss player. Nanyu going across the map to delay the 3rd base. As he moves out, the Oracle is moving in. We're not done. Holden looking for more damage, but Queens are ready for them, and yeah, the Oracle is going to be zoned away. We try to find some more damage here, but again, we have 2 Queens in the main, 2 Queens at the natural. 3rd base is exposed, but there's no mining at the 3rd. And the Oracle is forced back. Now, at least the Oracle doesn't sustain any hull damage. It is still fully topped up. We'll be able to pivot away and bounce back once it does regenerate those shields. Speaking of, we're going to be bouncing back in once we have a second Oracle as well. The second Oracle has arrived. 3rd Oracle's on the way, and Holden going to be mining through these gold minerals, actually expanding here on the linear side or the right-hand side of the map. Very interesting, very safe base to expand to. Again, we're loading into Crimson Quartz, and one of the big features of this map is the fact that we do have 2/3 of the map completely cut off unless you knock down these rocks or you mine through those mineral patches. As you can see, the advantage here of this base, or sorry, of this map layout, is this base here is so secure once you mine through these minerals. And to be fair, it takes a little bit to mine through them. You gain access to a very secure base. Again, you cannot harass this unless you break down these rocks or mine through these minerals yourself. And this is going to have to be a bit of an adaptation here from Zerg players or players in general as they embrace and as they get used to this new map. Is just gaining access to this portion of the map to be able to harass, to be able to be active. Without it, Holden, his third base is completely safe. Like, there's no way to harass this, no way to really apply any pressure, at least not right now. It's completely safe. Behind this, we do have oracles, again, threatening a dive. Forcing Nanyu to flinch for a moment. Behind this, Roach Warren's on the way, Forge as well. Forge, Eva Chamber. Getting into our Ling Roach Ravager composition. Fast infestation bit here out of Nanyu. I mean, I say a fast pit was a bit of a delayed Roach Warren, but with this we can gain access to Hive Tech, of course. Whether it's Vipers, whether it's Lurker Tech, whether it's even Ultras, you have access to quite a bit. See how we want to make use of it. Meanwhile, back at home, as Holden's getting his Starbase fully operational, and again, economically, Holden is keeping up, if not exceeding that of the Zerg player. We're going to be refining our army here with not just Blink, but we have Charge on the way, +1. Also, I said Blink, but again, yeah, we did skip it. We skipped to Blink entirely. This is going to be a pretty aggressive move out here from Holden. Again, it's going to be a pretty strong push here with Charge, with Archons, and even with Storm. It's going to be a lot that Holden's going to be working with. Until then, Holden doesn't really have much of an army. You can see here, no shield battery, no overcharge. Lings, they apply a little bit of pressure. We have even invested quite heavily here into these roaches. Nanyu taking his 4th base, but not fully droning it, cutting workers earlier on at 71. And Nanyu, he may be looking to max out. He may be looking to try to hit his timing here with +1 and Roach speed. Never mind, we're going into Swarm Host. Okay. Now we know what the infestation bit was for. I assumed it was going to be for a fast Hive Tech, but no, Swarm Hosts are going to work so well here. Considering the fact that Holden is going into Charge Lot Archon, Swarm Hosts, they're ideal. Now, the reason for this, Swarm Hosts are very much so out of meta. They're out of fashion because of Blink Stalkers, but we're not up against Blink Stalkers. We're up against Charge Lots, and this army from the Protoss player is so much less mobile. It's so slow, it's so cumbersome. Because of that, these Swarm Hosts, they can really pop off. They can pull the Protoss apart. Now, Revelations do confirm this, so Holden is fully aware of what's going on. He does spot the Swarm Host. Behind this, he's rotating around. Zealots, are getting caught out by some of these roaches. And you can see Holden is having a really hard time engaging with the army. SimCity working against Holden in a way. He's stuck on the other side of the map, on the other side of the wall. Locust Wave is coming in, headed straight for the 3rd. We go straight for the Nexus. And we do focus it down. Even with the overcharged Nexus, it's going to get targeted. You can see just how much DPS there is. The Nexus does fall. At the same time, Roaches, they hit through, they break through into the natural. They get the Cyber Core, they get a gateway, they even get a 2nd. And Holden, he is struggling. He even takes some biles to the face. Not like this massive Balzu connect. We're going to try and chase this down. We do soon have a Storm available, but once again, the biles, this time we do dodge them. This time they are avoided. Holden trying to get his 4th base up and running, but long distance mining. A Locust Wave has reset, and this time we can go for the army. Popping up there out of Holden does at least save the Archons. Saves the Archons, but again, Nanyu, he can keep on pushing. Claps on top of the army, gets one of the High Templar. Gets the Templar, gets an Immortal. Nanyu is going to have to... I mean, he can retreat from here, but his Locust Wave, it's going to be resetting. He has another available. He soon will. And once he does, he can go for another wave for the third. He could maybe even hit the fourth base. Nanyu has options. Now, thankfully, our Zerg player here hasn't been resting on his laurels. He is taking up into Hydras and a Lurker Den as well. He's working towards Hydra Lurker Viper. Ooh, this Locust Wave is a bit premature. Not too fond of it, but we might be able to catch a unit. Yeah, we change course. We head towards the third base. Up. And you can see in the blink of an eye, we take down the Robo. Not a bad pick-off. The Cybercore has not been rebuilt. Just now going to be on the way. Honestly, the Cybercore is looking quite exposed. Another Locust Wave could bring it down. And Holden, he's pretty all-in, but at the same time, Nanyu is maxed out. He's in control of this game. A lot of dead supply in these Swarm Hosts, but we have another Locust Wave available, and we can take another big fight. Good storms out of Holden. Good army control overall, but again, just losing a base was brutal, and things looking dire here for the Protoss. They're down in the army, Locust Wave runs out, and army pulls back. Fleet beacons on the way. I mean, Skytoss would be ideal. The problem is how delayed the third and how delayed the fourth base saturation is. I mean, and again, there's no saturation whatsoever. We barely have an economy. It's just gonna take far too long for Holden to really afford Skytoss. Diving in the army, gets one, gets two, gets a good amount of lurkers, even lands the storm. Very nicely done. Although, because the spies, they almost take down the High Templar. Good trades here for Holden. Lurker Den will survive somehow. You do barely keep it alive. Oof. Storms, they soften up the army. But as the armies were dancing, as we were trading, nice little run by here in the main base. We have another Locust Wave towards the third, and we can focus on the base again. Like, this base, it's just never going to get up and running. It's not going to happen. It does go down. Workers this time are transferred to the fourth. To now the new third. And we did not kill that Lurker Den. Upgrade is done. We do have the Adaptive Talons. Storms, they have to be spent on Lings, not on Hydras. Less than ideal. How many Lurkers do we have? We have 5, soon to be 10. That's a lot of Lunkers. It is going to be a lot of lurkers, and we just cannot push in. At the same time, a massive Locust Wave here on the right-hand side, and we get on top of the fourth. It's been a good effort here out of Holden to try to bounce back in this game, but alas, it's just too much of a deficit. The Swarm Hosts are the MVPs. They've done so much for themselves, killing base after base, getting so much value. And Holden just did not have an answer. I mean, again, his answer is going to be Skytoss, but it's too little too late. It's like, we have a mothership on the way, a carrier as well. If Holden is given like a solid 3, 4, 5 minutes, then sure, right, anything's possible, but that shouldn't be happening. Now you're just amassing more lurkers. Wait for a big lane counterattack. We get on top of the fourth, forcing a recall. Recall does force back these Lings. At the same time, Nanyu being a little bit wasteful with these Swarm Hosts, but again, I'm sure he just wants to get rid of them at this point. Take it into the main lurker army. We just can't approach it. It's just not happening. Oh, Locust Wave wreaking havoc here at the third. And Holden just misrallying. You know, things have just gone from bad to worse. And we are falling apart a little bit here. Oh my god, massive spine shots. GG gets called with that. Holden, his main army crumbles, and Nanyu takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Nanyu takes game number 1, but we have yet to determine, or I mean, I should say Holden has the opportunity to bounce back. Has the opportunity here to bounce back in game number 2. We're going to be switching servers over to the land of Asia. We're switching over to the Taiwanese server where we're playing out game number 2. And the pressure is now on Holden. Again, he wasn't doing too badly here, but the swarm host, or the reaction to the swarm host, was just a little bit lackluster, and the first locust wave killed the base, and that was brutal. That was almost game then and there. Was almost game. And this is a strong start for PcEc. I'll be honest, like, when I'm looking at the lineup of Bing Bong Esports, Bing Bong Exports, I mean, I was gonna say that I rate Holden quite highly, but I know Azura has a lot of experience, Spazymazy as well. Holden, he's more the younger up-and-comer, so I do believe that the rest of his team can, of course, prop him up and they can make up for it, but Bing Bong Exports, they don't want to start off with a deficit. They don't want to start off down 2-0. That's difficult to come back from. It is going to be difficult. So we'll see if he can. And again, as a reminder, it is going to be loser's pick. So Holden, it's his map of choice. What do we load into? We can get into some of the older maps like Alkione or Side Delta, or we can load into some of the newer maps instead. We got options, Papi. We got options. Do you have options? Otherwise, hope everyone has been enjoying themselves. Hope everyone's been having a great week. Again, I've still been unwell, and I've still been trying to recover this past week, basically, and we're getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there, but until then, I'm just trying to take it easy, trying to cast what I can without overexerting myself. The WTL qualifiers is always something that we embrace, and I know that there's not much coverage on these qualifiers. I believe it's ourselves and Rotterdam, like that's it. Like that's the only English coverage, which is a shame. As yeah, we are just switching servers over, and it looks like our players need a little bit of time to actually sort themselves out. We're just waiting for some place to show up, and then we can just dive in. So we're just calming things down. But yeah, pretty strong start here from Nanyu. I'm not really too familiar with Nanyu. I've never casted them before, so I'm happy to bear witness. Happy to be a part of this. As you know what, I may as well just switch our scenes over and we can have a look at the lineups ourselves. So lineups, they have been submitted ahead of time for the qualifier, and you can see here we have Holden versus Nanyu in a best of 2 initially, followed by Azura versus Misaki in another PvZ. And I just realized every matchup is a PvZ because we end the best of 7 with Spazymazy versus Jim in a Zerg versus Protoss. So if you're a fan of Terran, I do apologize, but neither of these teams are fielding a Terran player tonight. I believe they both have Terrans in their roster, but again, I guess they just don't have any of those players available. Let me just double check. PcEc, they do have 2 Terran players, and Bing Bong Exports have they have Mag. They have 1 Terran in their roster. Haven't brought them out yet, but again, we might see them later on down the line as we progress here in the qualifier. As we are going to be progressing. But again, as you can see here, it's overall a best of 7. First to 4. First to 4 wins is going to advance on into the next round. And so far, 1 point on the board for PcEc. Also, if you're familiar with the team, I'd love to know what it stands for. I'm unfamiliar with PcEc, and yeah, what does it mean? I'm like looking at their Wikipedia page, and they have like a teddy bear as their mascot, with like a shield and like a spear. I don't know what that means. Like, there's no trivia or anything like that, so yeah, I'm not too familiar with their history, with their backstory. So I'd love to know it. Until then, I think we're just going to be going on a short break. I do apologize for the downtime, but it looks like our players, they need some time to find each other, so I think we're going to be going on a short break, and when we return, we'll have some more StarCraft. We'll have Game 2 on a map soon to be determined. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the delay, but we have our second match. We have game number 2, and it's going to be taking place on Dynasty. As a reminder, Holden took a loss in the first game. As a result, it is his map pick, and we're diving into Dynasty. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our American Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Bong Exports. It is Holden. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing his team, Team PcEc. It is Nanyu. go. I guess if this makes things a little bit easier, I believe. Bam. Hold on. Bam. There we go. Just adding the name to the UI, and we're settling into one of the other newer maps here. Dynasty is an interesting one. For those that are curious, we have pocket bases. We have a pocket goal base, might I add. And what is terrifying here, especially about the loser's pick, especially about this best of 2 format, is that there are no vetoes. No vetoes are available, and as a result, bam, you can do this. You can pick a map like Dynasty, and typically the downside here of taking this goal base is that it can be abused, right? With Stalkers, with Adepts, with the Marines, with Reapers, with Hellions, with units typically in the early game of Protoss and Terran, you can abuse this position. But Zerg players don't have any range units early on. They're stuck with Zerglings instead, and you can't really harass here. You can't punish this with Lings. This map choice makes a lot of sense. This map choice from Holden does make a lot of sense, as the Zerg player cannot quite punish this the way they would like. Of course, we can still go for all-ins. There could be like a, Nidus-based all-in. We can rush into Roaches early on and go for a Roach push. You can be aggressive. Share map. You can be aggressive, you can be assertive. Definitely, that is true, that is possible. But it is also committed and difficult to get going, difficult to go unscouted. So we'll see if Nanyu can pull that off. Until then, we are just settling into our game. Holden from here getting into a Cybercore. I imagine a Stargate and an Oracle behind this. There's no reason to really spice things up too much, but we'll keep our eyes on Holden to see if he goes into Sky Toss, into Void Rays, or even into something like Lave Adepts. We'll keep our eyes peeled, as we have our tech of choice, Stargate. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have our Zerg player just droning on up. Ooh, did I say droning up? We skip link speed, by the way. Link speed has been forgotten, or I say forgotten, it has been just set aside, and we're rushing to a lair. Very fast lair here from our Zerg player. This could be for a couple of different things. This could be for a fast Nidus. We are taking a second gas geyser, so a Nidus worm is very much so on the table. We could try and go for Dropper Lords, but if we were, we would have seen Overlord Speed by now. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for something like Overlord Speed. But I'm leaning on the side of Nidus Worm. A Roach-based Nidus all-in makes a lot of sense here from our Zerg player. Ooh, we cancel the Roach Warren? Wait, what? Okay, Probe Scout did get eyes on the... No, sorry, did not get eyes on the Roach Warren. We cancel it. Lair is finishing, and... Are we expanding? We are. Okay, very interesting moves here from our Zerg player, going into a fast Hydra Den. Okay, so we cancel the Roach Warren, we go for a Hydra Den instead. So Ling Hydra, or a Hydra rush here from our Zerg player. Bold move. This could work wonders, or it could fall in its face. It all will depend on whether or not we scout. Speaking of, here come the Oracles. Oracles are coming in for some harassment. Will they get eyes on the tech? So far, oh, they do! Big scout there from Holden. Gets a revelation off. He does get eyes on the Hydra, and he sees everything. He sees the would-be third base as well. And with this information, what are we going for? Now, against fast Hydras, charge the Archon into Immortal is ideal, into Faster Storms, a very similar playstyle to last game. Going for Blink Stalkers, you can struggle. Blink Stalkers do struggle against us. We are going for Blink, by the way. We're going to be committing. But how committed are we going to be? We have a delayed Forge on the way. Forge is late, upgrades are late. I'm not in love with this choice of Blink Stalkers. I am in love with it if we go Blink Stalkers into Colossi. That I can get behind. As I say that, we are already moving out here, just flooding Lings and Hydras across the map. We're not going for a longer game. We're cutting workers at 38. We take the third base. Now we are droning. We are going to be saturating. Oh. My fault. Here. Oh, my apologies, but of course Nanyu is up 1-0. And here we go, the Hydras and Lings, they do stutter step forward here. They do focus on the shield batteries at least. The overcharge is well, the shield batteries are depowered. Overcharge is supporting at least somewhat. And we can see that we're running out of Lings. Hydras are being forced back. Holden, so far, he is holding. No pun intended. Oh. Hydras are being forced back, and Holden, yeah, he's able to hold strong. Again, plenty of static defense. You could argue that maybe he overreacted a little bit, but alas, does hold. And the saturation here from the Zerg player was late. This is late saturation from Nanyu. Not like this. Taking another base. We do have Holden rotating around towards the right-hand side, threading some of these mineral lines, gets eyes on the 4th. And again, you may be thinking, oh, but the Zerg player has more drones. True, but they've had less drones for longer. Holden, he's been able to saturate his bases, and he's been freely mining from his gold base for quite some time, and now he's going for a big counterattack, and what do we have to defend? The Hydras are exposed. Hydras on their own, they're less than ideal. We need Lings to support. Where are they? As we pick off 2 of those Hydras already, Queens are getting low. Again, Ling Hydra is ideal against Ling Stalkers, but this is not Ling Hydra, it's pure Hydra instead. And the Hydra army is crumbling again. Expensive losses here for the Zerg player. Lings are coming into support. But if Lings ever do close the distance, we have Oracles to help deal with that. Do you have those Oracles? Again, behind this Ling Hydra trying to collapse on this army. Gets a Stalker. Gets 1, gets 2. Again, good trades here for our Zerg player. We can see how the turns do table once we do have some kind of support for the Hydras, but the support is running out. We're running out of Lings. As we run out of Lings, we're running out of Hydras. Yeah, we dive on the army. Holden, he smells blood in the water, cleans up all the Hydras. A brutal loss for Nanyu. And with that, he's lost control of the gold. The gold base is now in control of the Protoss. Expanding, taking a 4th base behind this. Spore Crawler going to be going down. Oh. Down the Spore. We do finally have a couple of Hydras harassing across the map, and they're going to get a lot done. Again, all it takes is a couple of ranged units and you can deny mining time. Meanwhile, we do see Holden rotating around. He does not kill the gold. Coming back home, here come the Lings. Once again, coming in, trying to catch out some of these Stalkers. Oof. The stutter stepping is okay here, but again, Nanyu chasing this down. Gets 1 more Stalker, 2 more Stalkers even. Behind this, the Hydra still wreaking havoc. There was no defensive warp in, no Stalkers. And no splash damage either. I would have assumed that we would have been working towards Colossi production, but no, that is not the case. No splash damage. Splash damage would be ideal against all things light. Lings and Hydras, whether it's Storm, whether it's Colossus, we kill the Nexus! 3 Hydras! Again, Holden did not take it seriously enough. The Hydras, they kill the Nexus, and Holden's now, I would say, in quite a bit of trouble. Losing a base, losing so much mining time, and having a subpar army. It's still pure Blink Stalker. Like, this does not scale well at all, not against Ling Hydra into Lurker. Speaking of Lurkers, there's the Infestation Pit. We will soon gain access to Lurkers. Yeah, the longer this goes on, the worse it feels like it's becoming here for Holden. Again, we're not working towards Sky Toss or Colossi or Storm. It's still just a gateway-based army. And on the one hand, we don't really have the ideal economy to sustain that anyway, but again, we were almost there. Yeah, here we go. We're setting up a surround. Nanyu trying to come in from behind the Lings. They do. We sandwich the army. Stalker's going to be going down. We force a recall. Aye, aye, aye. The mass surround is real. And Nanyu, we can keep on pushing. Now, there is a lot of stack defense. There is a shield battery. There's a shield battery. There's an overcharge. We do hold. Behind this, again, it would be ideal if we did have Lurker Tech. But, I mean, Nanyu is doing perfectly fine even without it. Zellarama is being annoying. Cells are going to be a bit of a thorn here, but they're dealt with it, cleaned up, and finally, Temple Archives. But again, it feels too little too late. You know, now taking up into Archons and Storm, I mean, by the time we do, the Zerg player is going to be maxed out, and the Zerg player is going to be knocking down the front door of Holden. Again, initially, we weren't doing too bad. Initially, we had a good defense, but again, refining the army just took a little bit too long here for the Protoss. There you go, Hydra stutter stepping forward, stutter stepping back, making use of these roaches even. So rotating back around. Again, Holden trying to make his final stand here on the ramp with cannons, with shield batteries. This is the best that he could hope for, but the cells, they just melt before the Hydras. See the Hydras trying to get behind those roaches, started stepping forward. We focus down so many Stalkers. Storm, it's on the way, but it's finishing up in 10 seconds, and again, by then, it's too little too late. The base has been broken. The fourth has fallen. GG gets called, and Nanyu takes game number 2, giving his team a 2-0 lead. GG. A very nice result here out of Nanyu, out of PcEc, taking a 2-0 lead here in this best of 7. But as a reminder, it is still only a best of 7, or still a best of 7. Still plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of back and forth. But again, a strong start for PcEc. Bing Bong Exports, they're up against the wall. They're up against the wall. The pressure is on. Switching our scenes over, we can have a look at the lineup. And there it is. We have Nanyu winning his first 2 games. Up next, Azura versus Misaki. Go. Azura versus Misaki coming up next. And again, Azura, he's more of an accomplished, experienced player. I do want to rate him a little bit higher, but I said before, and I'll say it again, I'm not very familiar with the players of PcEc. Not very familiar with them. I've seen them on brackets, I've seen them in qualifiers, but I haven't had the luxury, despite casting so often, have not had the luxury of casting too much of these individual players. So I'm ready to be introduced. Ready here to bear witness. Misaki does ring a bell. I'm just quickly double checking here to see if I've casted Misaki in the past. I was playing on teams so far away. I do remember that. I think I've casted Misaki on them before. Maybe I've casted them when they were on Kaizi Gaming. But here we go. We're getting into game number 1. Game 1 going to be on Golden Aura, one of the older maps. Something that our players are still a little bit more accustomed to, and it's going to be another PvZ. Again, the PvZs, they continue, and that's all we have, at least for the first series. Now, in tonight's broadcast, WTL is a multi-day event. The WTL qualifiers, they do take a couple of days to really get going. We will cast this series and most likely one more series after this. Just 2 best of 7s. That is the current plan. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Chinese Zerg player. Representing team PcEc, leading the series 2-0. Can we keep things going here? Can we maintain that momentum? It is Misaki. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Italian Protoss, the red Protoss player representing Bong Exports. It is Azura. And I'll get on it. If only these players would actually, name themselves in game. If only, Papi, if only. But he is or was a big Zound fan back in the day. I'm sure still is. But it's also Azura. Here we go. We're settling into our next game. Again, we had a pretty interesting ZVP already, and I do love that we had quite a bit of diversity and variety in those two games, but now we have two very different players, and my eyes are going to be on Azura here to see how he does open up and what he goes for. If this was any other player, I'd assume just a gate expand into Cybercore into a Stargate. We'll keep our eye on Azura to see what he does feel like whipping out. Likewise, Misaki just going to be joining up, saturating his main. It is going to be a hatch gas pool standard opener. Oh, my apologies. There was an extractor trick. Yeah, there was an extractor trick here from Misaki. Just a bit of a safer opener overall. Settling in towards the mid game. GG. I like the current plan. Didn't know Misaki is spelled. I didn't know either. Ugh. Sorry again, I'm just coughing my lungs out a little bit. Just a bit. These are moving out to scout. Again, I might only cast one best of 7 tonight if I'm feeling a little bit too under the weather. Depending on how bad the coughs get. But now though, we should be good. Lings dip in. Oh, ooh, they get a probe kill. More than should have happened, to be honest. Getting one worker. Ooh, almost getting a second probe. But nice damage dealt there by Misaki. God, my mouth, whenever I say Misaki, keeps wanting to say Mikasa. It's just in my brain, it just makes sense. Aye. But I'm sure Misaki is, another weeb reference. I'm sure. I don't play Honkai Star or anything like that, so I'm not sure about the names there, but I'm sure it's related. As of now, we're just settling in. Saturating our bases, no fast tech, no fast lair. We are just droning. As so far we've had a pretty passive start here. Outside of the initial lings, again, Azura has just been chilling back at home, saturating or getting his third base up and running. Oracle Harass is finally on the way. Headed towards the main base. Oh! So the Queens are in position. We do zone them away. Zone away that Oracle. We're actually going for a Phoenix after the first Oracle. Okay, you have my attention. It's going to be a Phoenix into a Forge and a Robo. Delayed Twilight Council. It's been a while since I've seen this build. Okay, so from our Protoss player, from Azura, with a delayed Twilight Council, we should be skipping Blink. We should be going for a delayed Charge, and this should be leading into Fast +1 and Fast Immortal production. I'm assuming this is going to be Fast Immortals and not Fast Colossi. But we have seen other variations here. We've seen the Showtime, for example, going to Fast +1 Colossi into +2 Colossi. But it's been a couple of months. Has been a couple of months since then. So I'm feeling +1 in Immortals into delayed charge, but we'll see. There it is. There's the Bay. We're getting into past Colossi. Let's go. I mean, there's the safety Immortal at least initially, but we should be getting into Colossi from here. And basically the reason why I referenced Showtime and the reason why what I'm getting at is that this is really tech heavy and very defensive is because without charge, without blink, without a Twilight Council, without any of these upgrades, we can't really be active. We can't really be too mobile on the map. So we're stuck at home and we're building up a death ball of an army. Basically, Azura is relinquishing map control, turtling up and just saying, you can do whatever you want, I'm just building up myself instead. So again, a very defensive, very tech-heavy style here out of our Protoss. Meanwhile, how do we counteract this? One of two ways. Either we try to go for an all-in to kill the Protoss before they can get going, or we counteract this with Hyper Greed. We're double expanding, joining up to 80 as quickly as possible, cutting roach production until we can max out, or until we can get up to 80 workers, then we can max out. We'll see if Misaki can recognize this. Now we're just going to be happily joining. Joining up, going for some Dropper Lords even. Okay. Not something I was quite expecting. Have a couple of roaches amassed. Overseer Scout does confirm the bait. Bay has been spotted. Ooh, and my apologies. So I assumed that this was going to be Colossi, then into charge lots, then into like a maxed out army on 4 bases. No, we're going even further than that. We're going to be getting up to 4 bases, don't get me wrong. We're working towards it, but we are rushing into Skytoss. So we're turtling up into Skytoss from Azura. And the question becomes, who reaches their goal first? Azura getting into Skytoss or Misaki moving out with Hydra Lurker Viper? Hydras are amassing, Lurker Den is on the way, we have the Hive in production as we speak. Misaki already moving out, so I'm not entirely fond of this. There we go, we are going to back off, we're going to respect the army. But Misaki has drawn up to 80. Well, 79, taking extra gases. Lurker Den is soon about to finish. And again, we should be amassing an army. If we do wait too long, then this position is going to be too hard to break. Again, we have shield batteries, cannons, ramp, high ground, choke points, alongside the concave. It's not going to be easy here for Azura. Going to be easy as we do focus on a couple of roaches. So we managed to get a couple of them. The army, or the roaches, they basically were scouting, getting eyes on the army composition. They got eyes on a handful of Colossi, but I believe we have not seen the Skytoss yet. Looking at the vision to confirm. Yeah, we haven't seen the Skytoss. Haven't seen the second Stargate or the Fleet Beacon, but we do see the army moving in. Jumps into the main, jumps into the third. And the Lurkers, they just rock up towards the 4th base. So far they do get within range. Jumps are being hunted down. But when those Colossi, they're going ham on the army. So many swipes going off. So many swipes going to be going off. The carriers, they have arrived, they've revealed themselves, and how much anti-air do we have? Not that many Hydras, not enough Hydras. It looks like we will hold. The roach drops, they got cleaned up, and you can see that the carriers, they can just swat this away. We needed more anti-air. But at least we broke the base. The Nexus did end up falling here. We didn't kill most of the probes, but we did kill the base. With that, Azura is stuck on a 3-base economy. And Misaki is remaxing. Misaki can and will remax from here and ensure that the Protoss does not get a stable economy and does not max out. That's a scary thing here about Skytos, is that a maxed out army can absolutely have their way with a Zerg player. That's only if they get there. Spine Shield's going to be going off. Pretty good positioning here with the Lurkers so far. Again, we're being very careful with these Hydras, pulling back and making sure we don't take Colossus shots in the face. Hydra started stepping forward. We're going on top of the carrier. And we get one. We do not. Ooh, a bit of an ambitious dive there. We got punished for it. Yeah, the carrier survives and we clean this all up. We force it back. And as we do have Azura defending, Storm is finishing. Now we have some splash damage. Now we have some support for the Skytos. Now we do have support. And this is getting scary. This army from Azura, we're down in supply, but the quality is there. Quality is there as we do have the Lurkers just trying to leapfrog forward. Again, a little bit too adventurous there. Back at home, Spires are done, Corruptors are amassing. Corruptors are on the way. That's going to be our answer here to the carrier. Misaki has maxed out. Again, do we have enough to push in? Workers, they are within range of the base. Corruptors, they dive on the carrier. Storms are being thrown down though. But the Storms, they graze the army. We get one. We're going to get two of these carriers, or are we? Gotta get two. Gotta get third. And a fourth as well. Yeah, we break the base. We break the sky. So it looks like we barely have enough. Again, imagine like two more Archons. Imagine a couple more Storms. And maybe Azura holds. But alas, he has been broken. And being Bong exports, they're in a lot of trouble right now. The base is or has fallen. We're breaking into the natural. The carrier can barely hold its own. Cannot engage. Yeah, we can see that the carrier is just being bullied back. We're trying to come forward, but really we're baiting the army out into the open. Bait out into the open. The overcharge is going to keep the carrier alive. But the Lurkers, they've killed the natural, and I mean, now we can just do whatever we want from here. Zellarama is being annoying. Lurkers are being cleaned up. Azura, he's alive. Does live. Does survive. But is on barely 2 bases. Trying to get a 3rd base up and running. Again, Misaki can just remax. Is remaxing. Is moving out once again. And from here, Azura should not be able to recover. I understand Skytos, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it can be amazing, but in this game state with this little economy, it's hard to see happening. As we do see Misaki going for the throw, going for the kill, get some more carriers. And we'll most likely get every single carrier here. Yeah, the army does fall. A Lurker survive. We can just caustic spray down some buildings. GG gets called, and Misaki puts a point on the board. giving themselves a further lead. PcEc, they're up 3-0. One more. Uno más is all Misaki needs. It's all Misaki needs. It's all that PcEc needs as well. Again, coming into this, I saw the lineups. I was rating, Holden, Azura, and Spazymazy as, some strong contenders here to make a deep run, but stumbling against PcEc, and oh boy, I'm all the more concerned now. All the more concerned for being Bong. Not like this. Again, personally, I would love to see a back and forth. I would love for this series to continue and to extend, but and it's not on me. As our map of choice from Azura is going to be Oceanborn. Oh. Here we go. But from here, if you're a fan of Bing Bong Esports, you need to give Azura your energy, your support, because it's a best of 7. First to 4. It's first to 4 is going to be our victors, our winners here. So, again, pressure is on. If we want to bounce back here and now on Oceanborn, it needs to be done. Otherwise, PcEc will have a strong start to day 1 of the qualifiers. Shall see. Catching up with the chat. PcEc. Oh, let's go. I like it. I like it. Like it, but here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Oh, they changed colors. They changed color. God damn it! Hold on. Now we fixed up one. We got the other. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Chinese Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team PcEc. It is Misaki. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Italian Protoss player representing being a Bong Exports. It is Azura. Here we go. As again, one more win is all Misaki needs to win it all for his team. Azura needs to start the comeback here and now. Good boy. As this is going to be an interesting opener, we do have a 15-15 based opener from our Zerg player. Very safe. Delayed gas here, faster hatchery, faster spawning pool. So a very safe start from our Zerg. Meanwhile, across the map, Azura going for a standard opener himself. So I know I said that I would cast 2 series, but we'll see. I'm deteriorating a little bit faster than I thought I would. See, Azura, take our energy. Let's go, Ira boys. I mean, personally, I would love to see a back and forth just to get the ace match. I'm greedy like that as a caster. I just want some more games. But we shall see. Ooh, Azura being quite an annoyance across the map. Delaying the expansion. Going for the pylon block. Meanwhile, across the map, standard openers all around. Nothing or no big deviation yet. So the third base is finally going to be on the way behind this Stargate opener out of Azura. Again, everything looking as it should. And it is going to be that Oracle first. Now, as a reminder, in the last game, it was Oracle first into Phoenix, into very tech-heavy style that led into Skytoss. Now, we could try to go for a different variation this game. I would not be opposed to it. I wasn't in love with rushing into Skytoss itself, but going into fast robotic spade production, you know, I can get behind that at least. And alas, that wasn't quite something that we went for in that last game. Instead, we took some bigger risks. We shall see. So we go, Oracle's moving out. Ooh, once again, fast lair here from our Zerg player. I say once again, of course, the previous Zerg player, Nanyu, did go for a fast lair. And the lair has been spotted, has been scouted. Was what, 3-minute 30 their timing? Jesus. Now, with a fast lair, this could lead into a Link Queen Nidus all-in. Could lead into fast Hydras if we take another Gas Geyser. Based on the last game, though, I'm feeling fast Hydras, but we'll see, because we are not droning, by the way. We have not made a single work in quite some time. We're still amassing Lings. Lings are moving out. Behind this, Azura. Ooh, I see a Forge. I see a Robo. I do not see a Twilight Council. Once again, going for that defensive style. And now we know what the what the fast lair was for. It was for fast Hydras. So very similar to his teammate, Nanyu. Very similar. Yo, these reps, they're getting some value trades. They're being cleaned up. Not too bad trades overall. CranKy full edge, exactly. See Lings amassing. Headed towards that third base once again, and Azura again doesn't quite have much to deal with this. Yeah, there's the Bay on the way. It's the same playstyle. Same build here from Azura. Game 1 and Game 2. And you can see this massing style finding quite a bit of success. Again, because we made so many Lings, the drone count is actually very low. You can see the third base is not saturated whatsoever. I'm not fond of the all-in. Lings, they collapse on this, they pick up a couple of adepts. They do manage to get the Immortal. Good pick up. But the Ling Hydra has been spotted, has been confirmed. We're just waiting for reinforcements. Now, because we already revealed our hand, that is giving the Protoss player a lot of time to build up their site defense. You can see here, cannons and shield batteries are on the way. They just need a little bit more time. From here, it looks like our Zerg player is not feeling too confident. I don't blame him. He's going to back off. He's going to regroup. He's going to regroup. And speaking of, that's quite an army here. Again, we're still barely saturating that third base. This isn't all-in. This is straight up all-in from our Zerg. And can we get on top of the Colossi? It's going to be close. Up. We try to. Good force fields. Very nice force fields here from Azura. The Hydras, they try to collapse them. They focus on the shield battery. Ooh, they barely do not. The shield battery survives. Boys are being pulled, and Azura, he's holding. He's holding on. He shuts down the all-in. GG gets called. And Azura fights back, putting a point on the board. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Azura will be fighting back here. Does put a point on the board, which means the hopes and dreams of Bong Exports are still very much so alive. Again, my condolences to Misaki going for a 2-base all-in in such a way. 2-base Ling Hydra all-in against this kind of defensive tech-heavy style was a bit of a counter, or Azura was able to kind of blind counter that in a way, as it was not being active, not being aggressive, was just chilling back at home, was able to absorb the attacks, able to overwhelm. And now we have one series left, one best of 2 remaining in this Team League match. As I quickly switch on over and have a look. Again, I can't believe my eyes. We're not casting Firefly, but we're casting the next best thing. Jim. Jaime Arturo Duran Silencio. Jimbo. He is back. The Chinese Protoss. For a long time here, he was one of the best in China or outside of Korea in general, including some of the other countries out there. Again, Jim was amazing. Big fan of Jim. And from here, we're going to be going on a short break. Okay, so it looks like we're just waiting for some of our players to arrive. But as I mentioned, up next, now that Azura is fighting back, now that Azura finally is setting his team up for success, up next, Spazymazy versus Jim. It's going to be a close one. It's always hard to tell the state of play of Jim. I was going to cut to a break, but it looks like we have our players ready. And I'm going to have to set up the player names again. Here we go. Game 1 going to be on Amphion. Wait, what? Amphion? Isn't it post-youth? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Hold on, just double checking the qualifier. Yeah, so a bit of a slip up there, but it's all good. And here we go. We're getting into game number 5. We've made it. We've made a pass. We're getting into game number 5 and spawning in the top left-hand corner. There we go. Of Amphion, we have our Italian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Bong Exports. It is Spazymazy. And hold on, I have to reset the names. God damn it. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss representing PcEc. It is Jim. Now, do I know the capitalization on Spazymazy? God, no. But we're good. As we are going to be setting it up. Again, we do see Jim getting across the map with his probe scouts. Likewise, behind this, getting his gate expand into his cyber core going as well. Standard opener between our players. Ooh, as I say that is going to be a pull first from Spazymazy. Okay, I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. There we go. Just setting up the names on the UI so we all know what exactly is going on. Yeah, for now there's that gate expand. Now again, because the pull first build from Spazymazy, that does mean that we have these lings faster than normal. There we go, 6 lings are on the way. See someone in the chat asking if I got COVID. I think so. I'm not entirely certain, but I got the flu of some kind. I got the flu returning from Poland, and yeah, I must have gotten it on the flight or at the airport, and I've been sick ever since. It's been like a week. It's been like over a week. Things have been getting a little bit better, yes, but still hard to cast long hours. So we're taking it easy. But now though, everyone's being forced back. Those lings actually weren't able to really make use of them as Jim got his full wall up and running. So there's just a handful of lings active out there on the map. Don't forget to hydrate your hydras and your light. Oh, let's go. I'd love to, Bobby. I'd love to. Just letting the chat know. Wrong map? Yes, they did load into the wrong map by accident. I think they just assumed because Amphion is the ace map, the map for the ace match. So, I think they just assumed that it was going to be Amphion next. Ooh, as behind this, Twilight Council is done. And we're doubling down into Glaive Adepts. We have 2 more gates on the way. We have 2 already done, so 4 gate Glaive Adepts here from Jim. Something you don't see as often anymore, but still very viable. And how good is the defense of Spazymazy? Oh boy. Here we go. Third base is being taken. Now, bearing in mind that there is no robo with this, what that means, because there's no robo, there's no prison, there's no way to reinforce across the map. It means that we warp in whatever we can here back at home, and we just send it by ground. Adepts are going to be waddling across the map instead. Adepts are going to be waddling. Here's Stalker going to chase down that Overlord. Link's being forced back. We go for another big warp in. This does feel a little bit delayed, and the problem is because it's been taking so long, we already have roaches. Roaches are amassing for Spazymazy. Let's have those roaches on the way. Adepts a shading towards that towards that main base. Wall is not a wall. We do commit to the shade. Commit to the shade here, diving into that main base, getting quite a number of drones already. 4 drones go down. Oh, we shade the hell out of it. We catch a queen. Yeah, and we can see that these glaive adepts, they're getting far too much done. The roaches are just having a hard time keeping up. The glaives, they're too much. They're too good. 4 drone kills. And again, we can just keep on shading. Now, it looks like this will be cleaned up eventually as the roach count is getting higher and higher. We got 9 drone kills. Did I say 9? Oh my god, we got 17! In the blink of an eye, the Adepts, they just wreak havoc in the main base. 17 drones go down. Remember, Jim only needed 1. Unamas, 1 win is all he needs. And he's securing so much economic damage. 19 drones go down. And Spazymazy is in a difficult position. Like, what do we do from here? We don't have a lair. No lair means no Overlord speed, no Roach speed, sorry, which means there's no all-in. And we're droning. Not good. Yeah, behind this, Spazymazy is stuck just re-droning, resaturating his bases. What else can he hope to do? Nazi's droning up. Okay, I see you. Spire is on the way. That is a tech that's going to be used to hide from Jim, to catch him off guard. Mutas have a lot of potential. The problem here is across the map we do have additional robos on the way. Upgrades as well. Jim's still in a good position. I mean, Jim's economy is insane. And the problem here is the Spire is halfway done. By the time the Spire finishes, if Spazy invests into mutas, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble because we should be pushing in by then. There we go, Stalkers, they are moving out. Stalkers are moving out. Obviously moves in. And again, Jimmy's got so many Stalkers available here. Lings are going to try and trickle in, but Lings, they're going down immediately. Just not enough Lings, not enough support. Plus snap a couple of overloads go in, but it's just too little too late for that. Yeah, with half decent Lings, we can clear through all these Lings. We can get on top of the Roaches, we can get on top of the Ravagers. Very nice target firing here out of Jim, and GG gets called. It's just too much of a deficit. The Glaive Adepts did carry, and Jim takes the series 4-1, winning it all here for his team for PcEc. GG. Congratulations here. Congratulations to PcEc again. I'm very familiar with Jim. Jim, he is a very historic player. Like, he has a legacy behind him. Jim, aka one of the best Protoss in the world in his own era, back in Heart of the Swarm. Jim was a beast. And then he retired. He stepped away from the game. Recently was coming back. When I say recently, I mean like a year, maybe 2 years ago. So great to see Jim returning. And, yeah, from here, looks like PcEc are going to be able to break it through. They're going to be able to make it through. But yeah, with that, I believe PcEc, they will be taking the series in the end. I'm uncertain though if we play out all the matches. I remember that the WTL admins were they were okay with it. They were like, if you guys want to play, you can play. Like, you can play out the games. I don't think they're gonna really affect seeding or anything like that. So yeah, it's up to the teams here. But yeah, even if Bing Bong Esports win this game, unfortunately they won't be able to recover in this series. But you know, it just comes down to the teams themselves if they want to play at that final map. As Spazymazy does have the option here to pick the map and to come out here. In the next game. Seems like the Bong wasn't that big after all. Oh, what does that mean? What is... Aye. But yeah, I think the biggest shame here is that it's single elimination. The biggest shame here is that it is single elimination. I don't think they have another chance, unfortunately, which I think is a departure from last season. Am I crazy? Let me just double check here. Last season, was it double elimination? Qualifier. WTL 2023. Okay, kind of. Sorry, I've just been a little bit unwell. I'm just double checking, and so last year in the winter season of 2023, WTL did have a lower bracket, but only for qualifying matches. So they had kind of like a second chance for certain teams. But I'm not so certain they're going to have that this season, unfortunately. So, you know, a big shout out to Bong Esports. You know, they put in a good effort, so there were some really good games there. And again, I'm a big fan of, you know, of the whole lineup. You know, Holden, Azura, Spazymazy, they're all amazing players. And again, it is a shame that they bow out here in the first round, but I wish them all the best, not just in WTL, but in their other endeavors. You know, there are other Team League matches out there, Team League tournaments out there, like the Rakshir Team League or Berserker Team League, for example. There's the Kaprulu one, right? There's like Kaprulu Team League. So there's plenty of other opportunities out there to really showcase your skills and to improve. And also, of course, the individual leagues as well. So I wish them all the best. You know, EPT Spring is on the horizon, and DreamHack Dallas is on the way, so you know Holden might even be a part of that. He might even go and experience the open bracket himself. So do wish them all the best. Meanwhile, congratulations to PcEc for claiming their win here, for advancing on into the next round. Again, Jim is a beast, and he's going to be trying to lead the charge here. I believe PcEc, they advanced on to face off against Platinum Esports in the next round. Ooh, that is not going to be an easy one. That is not going to be an easy series. Platinum Esports, they are a sister branch of team from the Platinum Heroes, and they have a lot of really high caliber players there. I believe they have, actually, we can have a look at the lineup. Platinum Esports, they have Aristory, they have Art, they have Eggs, Hate Me, Eba, Rodzin, Snockstar, and Vindicta. Now, what I will say is that there are a lot of players here that are inactive. Vindicta, for example, is part-time, or he's not a full-time player anymore. Eggs, I know that he embraced, was it Stormgate quite a bit, and he's been playing other games. I know he hasn't been as invested into StarCraft as he once was. But this lineup has potential, does have potential here. You know, Snockstar has been on fire. We've been casting a lot of Snockstar. Hate Me, he's a crazy wild player. Rodzin's been improving. Aristory has been improving a lot. Like in general, these Polish Protoss, or these Polish players, a lot of them have been really improving and really getting better and better. So I look forward to seeing how they perform for Platinum Esports. But we'll get there in a couple of days. We will get there. BB Export didn't export wins today. Oh no, not like this. Thanks for casting. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Pappy. You're welcome. Always happy to cast. Always happy to cast. Now we do have another match scheduled to start in 40 minutes. There is Fairy Thugs versus Offside that is scheduled to start in 40 minutes. I would love to cast that, but I mentioned before, and you can probably hear it, but I've been coughing my lungs out all broadcast, and it's not been getting better. So I think I'm just gonna take it easy. We'll call it here for now. Let's have a look at everything actually together. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. So want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let's quickly set that up. And bam, there we go. Okay, just under the lineups, there we go. We do have all of our matches here, and the first round is wrapping up. We can see that Club NV took down CTBZ without dropping any maps. It looks like Mondo 2-0 Dole, DRG 2-0 Seyo, and Creator, he took a game off of Sarutobi. A big shout out to this team though, CTBZ. This is a team of WTL admins. Sarutobi, Sayu, Dol, they're all admins for WTL, so big shout out to them. It's an admin team basically playing for fun. But they're up against Club NV, and Club NV, they're a beast of a team, so Club NV, they do take that series. Scrolling down, we have Berserker Esports. They 4-0'd Team GDA. To be expected here. Berserker Esports have a beast of a lineup. They have Battle B, DNS, and Mixu. Mixu didn't even have to play. But again, like this is just a monster of a lineup here. And Berserker, yeah, they come out on top and they qualify. Oh, there you go. They qualify here for the next round. Meanwhile, there was a walkover. No shot. No, I was looking forward to it. But Hyperberg, that's I believe a joint team by Hyper One and Freiburg Esports. They get the walkover over Red Pack Academy. That's such a shame. I was looking forward to that. So my condolences to Red Pack Academy. You know, big shout out to Hyperberg. They qualify just like that. Didn't even play, didn't even try, but yeah, you know, they get the walkover. They qualify here for, this is for Code A. I should emphasize, this is not a qualifier for Code S. This is a qualifier for Code A. Then we play out Code A, and then we qualify for Code S. So there's layers. This is Code B essentially, but there's layers here to WTL. This is basically Code B for Code A to get into Code S. So still a lot to go through. Scrolling down, of course, we have PcEc. They were able to bring down Bong Exports to advance on against Platinum Esports. Now again, Platinum Esports, they play out in 2 days. You can see here, scheduled in 2 days. So likewise, Team Brody versus Club NV in 2 days as well, in 1 day and 22 hours. So the qualifiers will be concluding in a couple of days, at least this qualifier. And we do have, it looks like, a series that is mid-series, or a match that is mid-series. 3D Clan versus Red Pack Esports. Ooh, this is going to be a close one. Jimmy Micro and Baby Marine, they go 1-1. Kuga 2-0's Rom. Cuckoo versus B is going to be a close one. I want to give the edge to Cuckoo. I want to give the edge, and he could 2-0, and we could see an ace match. There could be an ace match here. Or, potentially, B could win it all for his team. Like, B needs one game over Cuckoo, and 3D Clan make it into the next round to face off against Team Gosu. Oh boy. So yeah, this series is currently ongoing. Meanwhile, there is one series that is held. You can see here in 30 minutes is going to be Fairy Thugs versus Offside Esports. This is what I mentioned, how we could wait 30 minutes and cast this, but again, I'm not feeling too good, and I think I should just rest. I think I should just get some rest and get some sleep, and try and just improve and get better for the rest of the week, because there's a lot of StarCraft going on. But it's gonna be Vaishravana, it's gonna be Elias Fees. Honestly, Fairy Thugs, I'm confused. Can I scroll out a little bit? I'm a little bit confused. Maybe someone in the chat could illuminate me. Fairy Thugs, I believe, is a joint team with Team Little Fairy, and another Thug team, I believe. Little Fairy have a decent roster, right? Like, Little Fairy, they... let's scroll up here. Fairy Thugs. Oh, never mind. Wait, what? They have Igard, Karma Prime, Lies Freeze, Number, Vaishravana. I could be mistaken, but I thought Team Little Fairy, don't they have Nice? Didn't Nice join Little Fairy? Like a couple weeks ago? If only he refreshed. Oh, sorry, hold on, I'll refresh. Oh, let's go! They're in the ace match. Cuckoo, he 2-0's B. Baby Marine versus Cougar in the ace match. Oh my god, that's a solid one there. So they are in the ace match, and this was a 6-0. Oh, and it looks like offside and Fairy Slugs. They started. My apologies. Looks like they have started. But yeah, I thought Nice was on Team Little Fairy, right? Am I crazy? Cause Nice, he has the Little Fairy clan tag. No, yeah, there it is. Hold on. I don't wanna break anything. But yeah, you can see here, Nice, Taiwanese Protoss player, currently playing for Little Fairy, right? Like I've been introducing him as competing for Little Fairy for a couple of weeks now. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused as to why he's not here. Because I would say that he's Little Fairy's ace player, right? Like, he's definitely up there. Who else is on their team? Yeah, Nice. Fighting Frog, Ender, right? Ender joined Team Little Fairy not too long ago either. You can see here, October of last year. Ender's on Little Fairy, Fighting Frog as well. For whatever reason, they're not feeling their pro lineup or their strongest lineup, and that's brutal because, I mean, I know that, you know, the YouTube man is a bit of a meme, but you know, Thermal is still, you got to respect him. You know, Rex is still a threat. Firefly is on fire, no pun intended. So yeah, this could have been a closer matchup, is what I'm getting at. Is that Little Fairy could have fielded a stronger team and or a stronger roster, and this could have been really close. Best of luck though. Best of luck to Fairy Thugs. Offside is coming in as the favored team, but best of luck to Fairy Thugs. Best of luck. Catching up. Little Fairy is allied with Twisted Minds. They're borrowing some players. Fairy Thugs is Little Fairy's B team, or other team at least. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wait, so are they seeded into Code A? Is that what you're saying? Code A has Twisted Minds. Okay. So, Hyper One in the chat, he's letting us know that apparently Little Fairy, I guess, and Twisted Minds got invited, and because Twisted Minds got invited in, Little Fairy has maybe joined with Twisted Minds, and that means that probably means that Nice, Ender, and Fighting Frog are gonna be joining they're gonna be joining Twisted Minds for Code A, I guess, question mark. I guess that's my assumption. So we'll just wait to see how this gets updated. Shall wait. As Twisted Minds and SSLT were invited to Code A. So yeah, with that, I guess we're done for today. We are done for tonight. I'm gonna be getting some rest. Again, I do apologize for this being a bit of a shorter stream, but I'm not good. So gonna try. I'll try to recover as quickly as possible. Otherwise, big shout out to the teams that did win, and best of luck to everyone else. I will do my best to cast WTL Qualifier Day 2, and of course Code A and Code S afterwards, as we always do here on the channel. Plenty of StarCraft to come, plenty of StarCraft on the way. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with some more StarCraft action. Until then, thank you so much. Hasta luego. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Posture check. You know, drink plenty of water. Hydrate your hydras. Massage your marines. And we'll see you guys in a couple of days with some more StarCraft. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao. Ciao. Hasta luego.